like, give me an example. What's the most wild, without naming any names, obviously keep it
Mm-hmm.
anonymous. What's the most wild
Mm-hmm.
scenario you've ever had to coach or provide
Mm.
therapy for?
Yeah, it was actually my first sex therapy case, which my supervisor, she was like, girl, whew. She was like, you got a number for you because I'm struggling. But, it was a young guy who had a body dysmorphia as it relates to his penis. So it's a
Okay.
very, very one of those things based in trauma. He had a girlfriend, never had sex with her, but I guess she asked for a penis pic or something to that degree. From that point on, she saw it and humiliated him the whole relationship. It said how small his penis was, any reference to a penis size, saying, just really humiliating him. So what he did was turn that humiliation into arousal. So then he started to pay people, just based on the example you said earlier, he started to pay women to humiliate and talk about how small his penis was, but yet it made him depressed that his penis was small. You know what I'm saying? So even the porn was about humiliation. And, that was to this day the wildest case I ever had.
This is
But we made a lot of headway.
this is the very thing I mentioned earlier about the trauma thing.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
If someone saw him off surface value, they'd say he's
Mm-hmm.
really into humiliation. That's his
Mm-hmm.
kink. It gets him off.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
But then when you break it down to what happened earlier in his life and how that early humiliation, he, I guess, gained power from it, or he tried to like rebrand it in his mind as something that is a standard.
Mm-hmm.
Then are we right to like revert that or embrace that that's what he's into?
Exactly. So it's like, once again, it's like that both and thing. So the treatment was kind of like, okay, this is like what my advice was given to me, was like, don't tell him not to stop doing it, because that's like saying don't touch that red button over there when I've been pressing it. Now that red button gonna look more and more appealing to me because I can't touch it. So no, we didn't stop. Keep doing what you're doing, but let's reframe how you see yourself in your body.
Yeah.
And by doing that, by default, perhaps maybe he may not have the need to feel humiliated anymore because I don't feel no kind of way about myself. So eventually that did kind of cease. He had some here and there, but it was a huge difference from when he first started, seeing me. And then it had to be a particular woman. Mind you, I fit that very mold. I said, of course, he seek me out because you got to be petite, more fair skinned Black woman. And so I said, so did you pick me because I fit the mold? He was like, well, yes, I did, because I figure if I can have.
He picked you out crazy. He picked you out. He's like, yeah, I'm here for therapy. Can we turn the lights off before we start the session? You're like,
that's what I'm like, I was like, oh Lord. And even my supervisor said, she's like, can you live with the fact with this therapeutic relationship that you will be seen as a sexual object? I'm like, it is what it is. I'm here to treat this man. I'm not here. I know my boundaries and he knew them as well. But in his mind, it was like, for him, it's like, okay, let me see if I can have a healing relationship with a woman that looks like you. Because the ex-girlfriend was I fit her mold. And so he's like, if I can reframe it, he have a healing relationship with someone that looks like you, I feel like I can be free from this thing.
So did you have to like role play?
Nope. And, it was times it was trying to get me in the trap. I know the first session was like, I bet you think my penis is small, don't you? I said, nope, you ain't gonna get me in that trap. I know what you're trying. Nope. Because just so I can say, maybe so. Nope. I'm not. No.
And then he whipped out $100. How about now?
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
how
nope. Yeah. Yeah. But it was crazy. And even, people have told me that they masturbated to me and all kinds of stuff. Like, I was like, okay, well, let's talk about boundaries, and so you have to put all that stuff out there. My supervisor warned me. She told me, she's like, girl, the moment you put sex therapists out there, I'm telling you. And she's like, you're an attractive young woman. I'm just telling you now, you won't be getting it. And she didn't lie. Even the weird phone calls, men jerking off on the phone. I'm like, is you trying to get off and do you want help? I don't got time for this. So, I'm used to it.
You've had men who, as a sex therapist, you've had men who jerk off on the phone while talking to you getting therapy.
They're trying to get therapy. And so that's their way of trying to get in for an appointment. And then it's like one time guy was like jerking off. I said, man, come on, dude. Like, I don't got
Wait, they were jerking off in order to get
No, they was just jerking. They was getting a rise out of the fact that they were calling someone and jerking off. That gets them there.
But that's what they needed. That's what they needed therapy on in the first place.
Who knows?
Did you give them the appointment? Did you give them the appointment?
No, I did not. I hung up on him.
Come on, that's what do you mean? That's a client.
No, I'm not doing that because that says to me that you already not respecting my boundaries. Who told you to call me jerking off?
Maybe that's his problem. Maybe that's the problem.
I'm not doing it. Well, somebody else can have it.
All right. I'm going to open up a clinic strictly for those who like to jack off to women's voices on the phone. All right.
Yeah, and then particularly call therapists down the line.
Exactly. I'll capture that market. You know what I mean? And then I'll meet you at the seminars that we go to as sex therapists.
Yeah, it's like, nope, I set those boundaries. And somebody called me once saying, oh, how do I specifically jerk off? I said, so you want me to teach you how to jerk off on the phone with you right now?
Yes.
Sound like you want to get off to me. He was like, no, I really need help. No, I'm okay. You can call somebody else with that. I'm not doing that. No.
Interesting.
You playing. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm used to it now because it's been for a while now. But, you get those types of things going on. But the thing is, the whole point of it is making people feel like they're not freaks or weird. You make them feel, but setting boundaries.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild to me.